assessment capacity, I think there's a couple of big picture lessons that we can learn from the experience in Pakistan. I think, first of all, the most notable thing about Pakistan was that a multi-cluster assessment was done in a time frame and of a quality that it could actually be used for the revised response plan and by a range of different agencies for their own purposes. I think there's two key factors that we can see that made it possible to do a multi-cluster assessment in that time frame. One is preparedness, and the second one is a dedicated assessment surge capacity that supported the assessment. In terms of preparedness, the multi-cluster rapid assessment mechanism, the MACRAM, existed in Pakistan, and that meant that for most of the stakeholders in the country, the idea of doing a multi-cluster assessment wasn't a new concept. It meant that there was human resources available. It meant that there were questionnaires that had already been designed. It meant that there was equipment dedicated to the assessment, and that there were these standby partnerships that already existed. That meant that human resources could be mobilised to go to the field and actually collect the information at relatively short notice. And a lot of these partners already had some level of pre-training. So however that preparedness was a little bit rusty and was imperfect, the fact was that when we tried to do an assessment, we weren't starting from nothing. There was this understanding and this concept in place, which meant we moved on from that and didn't have to invent the wheel from the very beginning. The other thing I think that made a big difference is that assessment professionals went in with the specific role of carrying out and supporting multi-cluster assessments, and went in not as ACAPS and not as individual consultants, but went in embedded within and working as part of OCHA and as part of the cluster coordination system that was in place in Pakistan. And I think that the Pakistan experience shows that that can work, and that through those two things, the preparedness and the dedicated surge capacity, an assessment was done within a reasonable time frame. That's not to say that there wasn't challenges, it's not to say that there's not a lot of improvements that we could make, but hopefully we take those lessons from Pakistan and we move forward.